Welcome back to We Just Want One. Today is going to be a little bit of a double special. We're going to be covering the bye week as well as our next game, which is at home with the Cowboys. So on screen, I'm just going to be flashing information for you all to see, like the standings here, who's doing what, who's succeeding, who isn't succeeding. There isn't much I want to cover with the standings. I just kind of wanted to show it for y'all to see how the teams are kind of stacking up in the first 5 or 6 games of the year so far. I've already simmed through, I think, through week 7 for most teams. So some teams have 7 games played, some have 6. I guess the most notable thing to point out is that we are sitting atop the NFC West currently at 4-1. I don't think it'll last because we have the Rams that we have to deal with at some point in this season, as well as the rest of our division is not that easy either. Seattle and San Francisco are both 2 teams we got to worry about. So I'm flashing through the roster here as well, so you can see kind of the numbers as they stack up. I guess I'll make a disclaimer, if you will, now that a lot of the numbers that you're going to see are going to be kind of wacky. I'm going to go over the league rankings too, like our team where we rank out of all 32. Those are going to be pretty wacky because obviously all the games are simmed based on 15-minute quarters, like a traditional football game where we play with 6-minute quarters. So there are going to be some stats that are going to be low just because we play on different kind of settings here than the rest of the sim. And then there's going to be others that maybe we can take a little bit of stock in, like how many interceptions I haven't thrown, how many rushing TDs and stuff we have. Those stats I think we can kind of look at. But like our rushing defense is going to be kind of broken. Our total offense is going to be broken too, like stuff like that. So, and so I guess I'll move to that now. As you can see, all of our low numbers here, divisional ranks and everything. We probably would rank 4th in our division in most cases anyway, because as I said, we have a pretty tough division. We're definitely the weakest team on paper in our division. It's really not even close. I think the Seahawks and the 49ers are both like an 86 team overall, and the Rams are like a 94 or something. They're like the best team in this game. I think this is a Super Bowl year for them, or a year away or year off or whatever. They still have the air quote greatest show on turf, a lot of those pieces together. But we'll see them in a couple weeks. I think we have Dallas today, and then we go to Candlestick to take on San Francisco next week. And then we welcome the Rams to Arizona for our first game against them of the season. So we go over the schedule here in a second. It's kind of a gauntlet from here on out because the Cowboys are a pretty good team. I think they're a little bit better than we are, but they're still not that great. And then we have our division play opening up for 3 straight weeks against our tough divisions here. We've already beat Seattle, and we probably shouldn't. And I think San Francisco, I'm not feeling too confident on the road. But we close out our tough division stretch of games with a very tough game against Philly and a very tough game against Oakland. Oakland is also another Super Bowl team, and I think Philly's like a year or 2 away as well. And then it gets pretty easy when we take on the Broncos and the Chiefs. So I think on paper are still better teams than us, but they're only 1-win teams this year so far. And then we have the Lions, who... It's the Lions, my favorite team, but I gotta say it, it's the Lions. And we have one more game with the Rams sprinkled in, our last division game with the Rams, and then it's a relatively easy stretch. I think we might play the 49ers again too to close the season or something like that. So I can very realistically see us at least having a winning record or close to one, which is kind of crazy for this roster, but it is very possible. But we'll get to that when we see it. We're only 6 games in, or 6 weeks in, I should say. So let's look ahead now to today's game in Sun Devil Stadium with the Dallas Cowboys. This era of the Cowboys is kind of weird. After a dominant 90s, they definitely kind of stagnated coming into the early 90s. This is, I think, the year this game takes place. They're currently going through a 3-year stretch with head coach Dave Campo, where they went 5-11 3 straight years. And I think this is the 3rd year of that before they would hire Bill Parcells and kind of get back to at least some winning football. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, that Super Bowl in the 90s is the last the Cowboys would touch that. I just got to remind Cowboys fans of that in case they're watching. So they have some impressive pieces here. They have an old Emmitt Smith. I think they also have Joey Galloway, the receiving core. Quincy Carter is the quarterback. I don't know much about his tenure with Dallas, how long he sticks around or when he leaves. But, there are a few years from a Romo or whoever else. So it's the Quincy Carter Show for today, and he actually puts on quite a show. So with that, let's get into the action as Quincy Carter hands it off to Emmitt Smith. But we have Randolph Thompson coming off the edge there and making a tackle, given not much of a gain for Mr. Smith. So it's 3rd and 6 for the Cowboys already. Quincy Carter fakes the handoff and sends it to the right side, and he can't connect with his receiver as he sails it over his head. So the Cowboys are set to punt this one away. We have a good bit of coverage. Jackson fields the ball, and he's got a lot of room. Tries to follow a block. There isn't one, but we get it past midfield, and we're already starting our first drive of the day in Cowboy territory. So it's 1st and 10. Plummer's going to pitch it to Jones. Jones got some room, and he gets to the outside and gets brought down near the marker out of bounds. 2nd and 1 now. Going to try and convert with the fullback, and he gets that and a whole lot more. And gets double team tackled after picking up about a handful. So it's 1st and 10 again. Plummer's going to drop back. They send the cornerback, and we send this one to Freddie Jones, the big tight end, who makes the catch near the 10-yard line. And we are cooking in the red zone already, early on. Go with the big action replay. Why not? They sent the blitz, but Plummer got rid of that one pretty quick, which is important because we don't have the coverage that we need on our line and on the edges either. So it's 1st and 10 now in the red zone. Plummer's going to drop back. And he wants Freddie Jones again, but that one's blocked at the line. It's a problem we've seemed to have all season long. I've even cut some of those out. We're going to head to Jones on the ground here. There was a big open hole, but it closed awfully quick. So it's 3rd and 7. Can we convert here, or are we going to walk away with a field goal? And everyone gets caught up in a mess there, in a tangled mess, and we had pressure coming for Plummer, and we just cannot connect and send that one out of the back of the end zone. So we're going to give Grammatica a chance to come out on 4th and 7 and send this one through, which he does just that, and that's why we pay him on a nice 25-yard field goal by Grammatica, giving us a 3-0 lead. So we head back to the Cowboys. Quincy Carter's going to field it out to the fullback, who cuts upfield and gets a pretty nice gain out of there, out of the flat. 2nd and short now for the Cowboys, and they're going to go to Emmitt Smith to convert, who's got the room. And he picks up the 1st down and about a couple more. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys again. They're cooking something now. Quincy Carter's going to drop back, and he finds McGee, the tight end. Makes a nice catch, but not a whole lot. Just a couple. 2nd and 8 now for the Cowboys. Carter's going to drop back. And he's going to send this one to Smith out of the backfield, who makes the catch near the marker and gets absolutely clotheslined. Dangerous play for Smith. I think this is around the time, too, that Emmitt Smith would leave the Cowboys and come to the Cardinals, I believe, right? It's 3rd and inches, and we are in the backfield before they can even get the ball off. Randolph Thompson comes right off the edge and makes a huge play in the backfield, and that's 4th down for the Cowboys. But yeah, they would sign him 2005 or 6, right? And he played for 2 seasons, and he was not good, right? That's what I think the history is there, if I remember correctly, as we give it to Jones, who's got a really nice gain, gets us a 1st down on 1st down. 1st and 10 again. 1st quarter about to end. We're going to send this one nearly picked off. Dangerous pass from Plummer. I don't think we had many options there. We're just desperately trying to get rid of the ball. It's 2nd and 10 now. We're going to head to Jones again, who's got room on the outside, follows some blocks, and finds a little room. And he's got himself another 1st down. So only on 4 attempts today, he's already got over 35 yards. As that brings the 1st quarter to a close, and we have a small 3-0 lead over the Cowboys at home. Bring this one back to start the 2nd quarter. We're going to go with Jones again, who tries to get crafty in the middle there, and there's not much to do. So we cut to 3rd and 7 now for the Cardinals in shotgun formation. Plummer's going to drop back, and he wants this one all to Boston, and he can't reel it in. In and out of the hands of David Boston, a rare drop from David Boston. So we give this one back to the Cowboys, who are going to send him in motion on 1st and 10, and they're going to pitch it to Emmitt Smith deep in their own territory. And Emmitt Smith tries to make a fancy play there and gets brought down. Not much to do. 2nd and 8 now for Dallas. They're going to go back with Emmitt Smith, who's got a little bit more room this time, but he can't shimmy out of those tackles and doesn't get a whole lot more again. 3rd and short now. Can the Cowboys convert as they go back to Emmitt Smith, who does have the first down, tries to make a spin move and gets brought back going backwards, but he still has more than enough for that first down. So the Cowboys are going to keep rolling. And the pressure's coming on to Quincy Carter as he tries for a screen play to Emmitt Smith, and we have that one pretty well covered. So the boys are going to be even further back, and Carter's going to send this one deep to his receiver, who is wide open all alone. We had absolutely no one in that vicinity. I don't know what we were doing. We were lost. But back from their own 5-yard line, they get a huge bailout. Now they're in Cardinal territory, just past midfield. 1st and 10 now for the boys. They're going to give it to Emmitt Smith, who gets caught up at the line of scrimmage and can't find any room. 2nd and 9 now. And we are in the backfield again, causing that play to completely break down. That's thanks to our big rookie linebacker, LeVar Fisher, who comes off the edge on the other side of Randolph Thompson and makes a big play. But it doesn't matter because Quincy Carter finds Joey Galloway for the first time today, who makes a big catch near the 20-yard line. And a huge defensive play comes right before a defensive breakdown, as Galloway makes a beautiful catch in coverage there, double coverage. And the Cowboys are just outside of the red zone now. 1st and 10 now for the Cowboys. They're headed to Emmitt Smith out of the flat, and there's not much room there. He had some blockers, but we were all over that one. 2nd and 9 now for the Cowboys. And Carter's going to drop back, and he wants to find it to his receiver, and Dwayne Starks says, no, sir. 3rd and 9 now for the Cowboys. Can they extend their drive here? And Carter's going to find McGee, tight end, who's brought down near the first down marker. And that won't give him enough, but it'll get him close enough for this chip shot field goal. 4th and inches now. And they're going to send this one through. And they definitely got it. 30-yard kick by Setter. And they're going to tie the game up at 3 now. So we got back to our first drive after the field goal. And we find Boston across the middle, who gets brought down near the first down marker. And an unknown cornerback seems to be injured on the play. 2nd and 1 now, still in shotgun formation. We want more. We don't want just the one. And we go for Boston again, who seems to have it in and out of his hands, bobbles it with the cornerback, but he's brought down. So we're trying to find Boston all day on those deep balls, and we can't seem to do it. So we're going to go with the fullback, try and get that first down, and we don't. A brilliant tackle by the Cowboys is going to force a 4th down, but we're not going off the field just yet as we go to Jones, who gets caught up, but a generous tackle animation will bring us forward for the first down. We only have a minute and a half left. Excuse me. And Plummer's going to drop back. The pressure is on, and we go to Boston again, and we can't find him again. So it's 2nd and 10 now. We only have a minute and a half left, and the pressure's coming on, and we just get rid of that ball, and a spectacular pick by Westbrook. Bryant Westbrook makes the spectacular grab. Look at this diving catch. Absolutely steals away from David Boston. The pressure was coming on. We had to get rid of that ball. I did not think it was going to fall that short. I didn't think we'd get rid of it. But the Cowboys are moving the other way as they find Galloway on 1st and 10. And they're going to run the hurry-up now as they only have a minute and some change left. They're already cooking deep in Cardinal territory, so they just got to get a little bit further. And Carter finds Rambo on the left side, who makes a great catch. And with just a minute left, a timeout is going to get called. First and 10 for the Cowboys. What can they do now? They got to add some points here to close out the half. Carter's going to drop back, and he finds McGee, the tight end, right in front of the line of scrimmage. Doesn't get a whole lot. Going to need a little bit more than that. And a big tackle laid on by our linebacker there, McKinnon. Cowboys back in the hurry-up. They got to move a little bit more. 50 seconds now left. Ticking away. Carter's going to drop back. The pressure's coming on, but it doesn't matter as he finds McGee again, this time for 6. We had people in the vicinity, but I guess they just weren't paying attention and weren't looking. So that's going to be an easy 7 for the Cowboys, capitalizing off of a big Cardinals mistake. As they take a 10-3 lead now, with just 41 seconds left. Can we answer back in that time? That's more than enough time for us. Jenkins fields it and takes it up the field now, gets some nice room, and it's a solid return to about the 35-yard line. That's a nice start if you want to answer back. So it's 1st and 10. We're going to be in a shotgun formation. And Plummer's going to drop back and look over. And we want Boston again. And he's got a step on his man, and he's got it, and he's all alone, and he breaks for the touchdown. 65 yards to the house. One play is all we needed. And I don't know how Boston got that level of separation when he's been covered all over all game. And we tie this one up and leave the Cowboys a little under 30 seconds to do something else. So it's 1st and 10. And Carter's going to send this one to his receiver, who has it in and out of his hands. LeVar Fisher makes another big tackle and breaks up that catch there. So 22 seconds now. What are the Cowboys going to do? It's 2nd and 10, deep in their own territory. Carter's going to drop back and look over his options. And he bounces it off of Galloway's hands. That was a dangerous one there. With 19 seconds now, it's 3rd and 10. And Carter's just going to go with Smith and try and get us out of the half. But Emmitt Smith fumbles on the run, but he's got a big lineman there to back him up and pick that one up. And we're just going to let the clock tick out and let Dallas head to the locker room because they got some stuff to think over, as we get a huge bailout at the end of the half there to tie this one up. And there you look at the halftime stats. Dallas is outplaying us for now, right now. We are outrunning Emmitt Smith, surprisingly, but Quincy Carter's pass game has been on point. As I said at the beginning of the video, he actually does put on quite the performance, so you're seeing some of that already, as Dallas's offense hasn't had really any problems moving the ball. But they just got to start capitalizing. They already capitalized on the mistake that we had, but they got to really seize a lot of their opportunities now as we head to Jones from 2 straight plays, but he's got the first down now, breaks a nice tackle, and gets brought down a little bit further. And we get the cool, sick action replay here to watch this big tackle break here on the first down from Jones. 1st and 10 again now for the Cardinals. And we head to Jones again, who's got a ton of room, falls some blocks there. And we don't have the speed to outrun the linebacker. But we had some daylight. We're going to go to Jones again, and this time the Cowboys have it a little bit better covered there. I think Nguyen made that tackle. It's the first time I've said his name today. Big defensive contributor for the Cowboys in this era, as we find Freddie Jones, our tight end, across the middle, who makes a catch in a very small window. So we have another 1st and 10, and we're working deep now in Cowboys territory. And we're going to float this one out to Freddie Jones again, who makes a huge catch in double coverage. And the strong safety Woodson makes a little bit too much contact with the face mask, and that'll send us even further. And Brian Westbrook is injured as well on the play. A lot happening here. Now it's 1st and goal for the Cardinals. We had the Jones, who's got room, tries to weave through and can't quite find the goal line. 2nd and goal now. Can we punch it in for 6? And we give it to Jones again, and a generous tackle animation will take us through the line of scrimmage, part the Red Sea, and we will find the end zone. Give us 6 more. And Jones doing whatever dance that is, celebrating another touchdown on the year. He's been a big key contributor to our offense, him and David Boston, as we send this one through to take a 7-point lead to open the second half. And Grammatica set to send this one away. A short kick. Dixon's going to bring it up and get brought down. And there's a fumble on the recovery. And we got a man there who's got nothing but green in front of him. And another touchdown. What? Speechless. A huge mistake by the Cowboys on special teams. We rarely get those in this. That might be the first and only huge mistake we've seen on special teams go our way. So a scoop and score on the kickoff will now extend our lead to 14. The Cowboys were looking at a tie game about 2 or 3 minutes ago. And now they have to dig themselves out of quite the hole. How quickly things can change here. But the Cowboys have not had trouble moving the ball, so let's see what they can do. 1st and 10 now. Carter's going to pitch it to Emmitt Smith, who's got some room, he's got some blocks. And that block doesn't hold for him, and he gets brought down without getting that much. 2nd and 8 now. They're going to go with Emmitt Smith the other way. And there's really no one there. Big stiff arm and a nice spin. And he gets brought up near the first down marker. So a play that looked like it was going nowhere, maybe for negative yardage, ends up almost becoming a first down. 3rd and 2. Can they push it forward? And Carter's going to fake the handoff and find Galloway, who's in man-on-man coverage there with Dwayne Starks, who can't find him. So it's 1st and 10 now. The Cowboys are still keeping the drive alive. Carter's going to drop back. And he finds Martin, the fullback, out of the backfield, who makes the catch in the middle of the field towards the first down marker, but he doesn't have enough. So it's 2nd and short now. Can the Cowboys convert? And they want Emmitt Smith out of the flat, who seemed to be covered in the backfield, but he escapes the coverage and gets a first down and a little bit more. Got to make that tackle in the backfield. We were all over him. It's 1st and 10 again. Carter's going to drop back. And he finds Galloway alone along the right side, but he can't make the catch. And Galloway must have left his hands in Dallas, because they are not here with him today. So it's 2nd and 10, Send a man in motion. And they're going to go with the fullback handoff up the middle. And it goes for a little bit there. Not too bad of a call, I guess. So it's 3rd and short. Cowboys are going to need to convert here. Fake another handoff. And they find Galloway, who can't hang on to the ball. Dwayne Starks makes a beautiful tackle to knock that one out. And yeah, he's got to find his hands. Maybe they're on the sidelines. Maybe he left them on the bench. I'm not sure. But they're not here with him. So on 4th and short, Sater's going to try an even longer field goal. And he just barely has enough. About another yard or two, and that one would have doinked off the crossbar. But the Cowboys get a little bit of points here to cut the lead just a tiny bit to 11. You're going to need a little bit more than that. So big mistake on special teams gives us the lead. The Cowboys are only able to add 3. So we had the Jones makes a huge spin move and gets brought out of bounds with the first down. And that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, holding on to an 11-point lead following our big scoop and score and our big touchdown to open the half. So it's 1st and 10 again now for the Cardinals. We'll give it back to Jones, who's got some room. And DeWin makes another tackle. 2nd and short now for the Cardinals. We head back to the fullback trying to get the first down. He breaks a couple tackles and gets brought upfield past midfield. 1st and 10, we're going to head with Jones again on the ground with the pitch. And he's got the room, he's got the blocks, tries to make the spin, and he can't escape the open field tackle. And DeWin is going to bring him down before the first down, but it's 2nd and 1. Can we convert? And we easily can convert as we head back to Jones on the ground. He's been getting all the activity today. 1st and 10 again. We had the Jones again, but the Cowboys are all over that. A double team tackle to bring down Jones after getting about a yard or so. 2nd and 9. The pressure's on. The Cowboys send the blitz, but we find Freddie Jones, the tight end, again. This is the most we've targeted him all season long. It's typically the David Boston show, but today we're diversifying our options here to just Freddie Jones and no one else. So we're going to head back to the run game, and we're trying to escape that tackle, and our fullback cannot give us any help, as Nguyen's going to bring us down in the backfield. We're heading the other way. 2nd and very long now. Plummer's going to drop back, and he wants Boston a dangerous throw, and Boston beats out the defender for the touchdown. We're extending our lead even further. That may just be the final nail here. With 3 minutes left, the Cowboys can still operate, but with a 31-13 lead, I don't know how much they'll be able to do, as Carter's going to find Bryant now, who makes a nice catch and cuts upfield for a few more. One play, one first down. If they can move like that, then who knows what could happen for the Cowboys. And Carter's going to find Rambo, makes another huge reception. And the Cowboys are moving quick. Just a couple plays, and they're already past midfield. Our pass defense has to get a little bit better. 1st and 10 now for the Cowboys. Carter's going to drop back, and he's facing pressure, and he's going to dump this one away out of bounds. Smart play by Carter, who had the whole world chasing after him, it seemed like. 2nd and 10 now for the Cowboys. Carter's going to find Galloway along the right side, who gets brought down out of bounds. He only gets probably about 7 or 8 on that play. So it's 3rd and short now with just over 2 minutes left. The Cowboys got to move a whole lot faster. Carter's going to stand and make an awkward running throw, but he finds Galloway again. And Wilson, a strong safety, was just standing there waiting for it and didn't make any play on the ball. So that brings us to the 2-minute warning, but the Cowboys are deep in the red zone. It's 1st and goal. We're about the 8-yard line now. And Carter's going to float this one to the left side. I think it was Bryant he was looking for. And it was in and out of his hands. So it's 2nd and goal now. Got to try and punch this one in for 6. And Carter's going to give it to Galloway, who makes the catch, but still run out of the end zone to the ball to make the catch, and gets brought down at the 1. So it's not a touchdown. Looked like one. 3rd and goal. Carter's feeling the pressure. He's got to make something happen here. And that's not what he wanted to make happen. As he finds LeVar Fisher, the big rookie linebacker, breaks a tackle, shakes off Emmitt Smith, and gets brought down by Quincy Carter out of bounds. Just bad throw, bad choice by Carter. I guess he was desperate to make something happen there late in this game. Didn't want to go home empty-handed. And that'll just about do it for the Cowboys as we hand to the fullback, who gets the 1st down to seal away our victory as the clock ticks away to triple zeros. And there you see, 31-13. We absolutely pummel the Cowboys at home in front of a nice crowd. And minus away that huge special teams mistake, would have only been 24-13, so I don't know, maybe a little bit more doable, I'm not sure, but we absolutely controlled the second half of the game. David Boston gets player of the game honors with only 3 catches, 2 touchdowns on 3 catches. As we go over here, the stats, total offense was pretty close. The Cowboys really played well. They didn't run well, which is a huge issue for them, especially having Emmitt Smith. Big mistakes were capitalized by both teams. 3rd down percentage, again, very low for us. I hate seeing that every week, but can't seem to figure that one out. Cowboys red zone scoring at 50%, so the red zone defense gets a nice little bump off of this game. And yeah, this game was really even statistically. But yeah, just really the mistakes here bearing us away. Plummer had a more better game than normal. 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but 7 for 16. The completion percentage is really ugly. Not a big fan. Thomas Jones has 100-plus yards on the day. Only 20 attempts with a touchdown to boot. The receiving, I mean, this is a whole 7 receptions for Freddie Jones, 3 to David Boston with a touchdown there. Head down to our defensive breakdown here. LeVar Fisher with a nice tackle for loss and INT on the day. Hopefully that boosts up our rookie stats a little bit. Who knows? But there you see the production. And very weird game statistically, but we get a huge win. A pretty big win. Doesn't seem like we should, but we're going to look ahead now to next week. It'll be week 8, I believe, where we open up division play again against the San Francisco 49ers in Candlestick in the Bay. And again, we see on paper they outmatch us pretty handedly. It should go one way, but we've seen this before. We've been outmatched before. We've been the bigger team, and the results are favorable across the board. So I hope you come back and come see your Cardinals in Candlestick as we take on the 49ers.